Hi, Dragofab here. Today we continue looking at parameters. Last time we looked at field parameters, and today we will look at numeric range parameters. We will have two types. So here I have a range of values, and they filter the measure. The other type that you can do is just one parameters, one value, and it changes the measure. So here we're using parameter as in slicer, as we can't use parameters in measures in slicers, but we can use parameters in slicers. To use it instead of the measure. And here we use it as actual parameter that adjusts the measure. So here each time I change parameter, the numbers in this measure are changed. So how do we do it? First of all, we will look at the slicer demo. So as I mentioned, if we add slicer here, then try to add this measure. We want to to have the end user the ability to slice by this measure percent of meat this time. But nothing happens. We can't do anything. So this is slicer, and slicers don't allow measures, only the columns you can add, but measures you can't. So what to do? Here the numeric range parameters will be really handy. So we go into modeling, numeric range, new parameter, and numeric range parameter. So here, as our measure values are in percentages, so we need to create a decimal number. We need to name it correctly, so it will be percent of meat parameter. And so it's decimal number from 0 to 1, of course, and increment should be, like in our case, you can increment whatever you want, and we don't need default value because we want the range. We don't want an exact number, and we want the slicer on the page. So we're creating this new parameter, and this parameter is now just one value. It's nothing there. What's going on? So we go to slicer settings. It's by default it's just single value, but you can choose it as in between. And now we can see that the percentages are not showing as we would want them to. So we need to go to the percent parameter and make it percentage, and here we have 0 after the dot, so here we need to make it the same. But what? Nothing is changing, nothing is working, but we haven't yet connected our new parameter with our measure. We need to create a new measure to connect this percent that we use here to this parameter. So how do we do it? I have already created the measure here that filters. For the sake of faster showing, I will just copy it and paste it here, rename it. So what do we do with this? First of all, we need to take the minimum or lowest number of that our parameter gives us. not this parameter, but the one that we've just created. So we have percent of meat parameter, and we need to create get it here as well. So why coalesce? So if by some chance we don't have anything in this parameter, it will always get the minimum of it as 0. And here as well, if by any chance this parameter wouldn't get any data, so coalesce is getting this default value if value in this position is returning blank. So if parameter will return blank, then we will have the highest as 1 and the lowest as 0, which corresponds to 0 to 100%. And here we are getting our measure that we want to filter. And what's going on here? So here, if not is blank, so if it is not blank, then we check if this percentage is higher than the lowest number or lower than the highest number, or equal, more or equal or less or equal, then we return meat. So this is how we can do it. And what's next? So here again we created this parameter, this new measure to connect our initial measure with parameter, but now we need to add this new measure that we've created to our visual. So we can see straight away that we need to update the format of the measure, which it will be percentages and zeros, so it will be the same. And also we need to update the sorting. And now we can see that this parameter filters our data, our measure. So the end user can choose the parameters to filter your data by. So this is how you can create a slicer for your measure. Now we will look at different style of using a parameter. Here we need to think through this particular case. So here we have the cost of meat, and we want to change our supplier, and we have several different options with different price increases. So for each of our other choices of the suppliers, the price will increase, but the price will increase from 0 for some that won't have any impact to 20%. So how can we give the end user the means to change this number by themselves? We need to go to, again, parameter, numeric parameter, numeric range. Here we need to change again the name. We will name it adjust price percent, adjust price percent. Again, we need decimal numbers. The maximum is 20%, and we will increment by 5%. So we incremented by 5% from 0 to 20%. And here we will have default as 0. So now we're creating this parameter. It again adds in as nothing. it's empty, even though we've set it to 0. But if you click on it, it's starting to be actual 0. So now we need to update the format again. We go to 0, and now we can change the percentages from 0 to 20. And if you want to change it from like 5%, the end user said no, I want more like narrow gaps between, you can go again to the parameter and update how your increment, or you can update the values, the maximum value. Maybe they said that they need increments to be less than 5%, to be like 1% increment, but the highest difference will be 15%. You can update it here and get it from 0 to 15% with increment of 1. And as well, they can put something here. If they put 10%, then it's not really easy to understand them, because they need to put 0.1. Then it's like this. So I'm not really I don't really like the option of getting them to choose it. It's great when you have just whole numbers. It's easy to understand, but for the end user to what to put in. But if you're working as we do with percentages, this one might be a bit misleading and harder to understand. So we can change it to a different one, but it depends on how your user will use it. So now we need to update our measure again. So here we need to create measure. I already have it, and here we need to just update the percentages, the parameter that we will use. So the parameter will be our new adjusted price parameter, so our slicer can work. And here we can have our cost, initial, current cost, and then we multiply it by 1 plus adjustment. So if there is no adjustment, we multiply by 1. If there is more adjustment, we multiply by percentage of adjustment. That's why we have 1 plus the percentage. So what this will look like. Oh, not here, of course. Need to add this to our matrix, and also I want to change this one to our new percentages and have it filtered, sorted by numbers. So now we can see that both of them are updating, and we can have the total updating and look at how much impact there will be for each region here, for example, and other interesting things that you can do with this. Thank you. Hope you have fun playing with parameters that are now GA. Bye.